Man on earth, like the greatest man on earth, like the greatest man on earth, like the greatest man on earth.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Künstler, keine. Heute zuerst bei uns Gus Ring.
Hi.
First of all, where are you from?
I'm from Sweden and Linköping. It's kind of in the middle of Sweden.
In the middle of Sweden.
So a bit underneath Stockholm, you could say.
Underneath Stockholm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got here because you're on tour. Who are you touring with? Like, are you touring with someone?
Yeah, I'm touring with my tour booker, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 2 shows in Sweden and then one in Copenhagen. So I drove to Copenhagen by myself and played those shows by myself. And then I was in Berlin 2 days ago, and that's when I met Paul. And that was the first time meeting him as well. So.
And you're getting along.
Yeah, we're getting along.
That's
Getting to know each other.
Getting to know each other. So, how many shows did you play at?
In total, the tour is 18 shows, and now I play 5. So it was the 5th one yesterday.
Okay. Is there a favorite show you had yet, or something special that happened, or something?
I think the show in Copenhagen was really nice. It was in Copenhagen. They have a lot of like abandoned churches.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think they're that religious. So this place it's called Konsertkirken, and it's a big church with like beautiful acoustics, and it's really nice in there. And the guy who owns it has bought it, so it's only used for music.
Only used for music?
Yeah.
So you won't have the same problems like in Russia and so on when you're playing music at church?
No.
It's good to hear.
But it was a really special show, and you just got a great feeling from the acoustics, like the acoustics.
I can imagine that. So the tour is called Boredom Tour.
Mm-hmm.
You released a tape called Boredom Tape as well.
Yeah.
why did you call it Boredom Tapes? Like, is it just a mixtape of different songs you've written over a long time, or was it like a concept album?
Actually, like when I started deciding that I wanted to write like a full-length album, I had this thought that when I'm gonna make this music, I'm not gonna think that much about what I do, so I'll allow the music to just come to me, and then it can go right through me, and yeah, in that way I think it comes more honest, you know, when you don't put too much thought on it. Like when you record with a band, you often tend to think too much about things like making this should be like the perfect chorus, and is this guitar line perfect, you know, stuff like that.
Exactly.
But with the name, the first song I made, I decided to call Boredom Tapes, and my thought was like, yeah, boredom turns into something good and creative, you know? You're bored and then you're making music. So, yeah, from that song, from that I decided to name the album the same thing.
Okay, cool. Where are you taking your inspiration from? Like, are you like writing a lot of texts out of your heart and about your feelings and your own self-exploration and stuff, or are you more like inspired by stories you are told, or people you met, or like is it a mixture of it?
Yeah, mostly it's like from my own experiences, like self-exploration, as you said. So it's kind of like a diary. Kind of like writing a diary. So it's I think almost all songs are about what I feel about something.
Is there a favorite song you have on your own tape? Like, is there a song that you love to play and you want to play as often as you can?
I think actually I like all the songs. For me, every song is really special, and I try to, when I play live, important for me is that I'm there 100%, and like I'm always thinking about what I'm singing, so I can be there, and I try to like think of the words, who I'm singing for, and things like that. So I love all the songs. A lot of them are very sad.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But
it's pure.
yeah. It's still, for me, it's a good outlet, you know. Just taking something negative and making it into something positive. I can just get out all the negative emotions by making the songs.
So it's like melancholy and happiness walking hand in hand and stuff.
Yeah. And I have some happy songs as well.
I wanted to ask you especially, where does the name or the whole story around the black elephant come from? Because that's a song and a name that caught my attention a lot.
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't know what I should think about a black elephant. Like, what does that transport for you?
Actually, that's one of the oldest songs. I think I wrote it when I was like maybe 18 or 19, and then it's just been laying around there, you know. I remember that it was a good song, so I wanted to put it on my first album, and when I wrote the song, it was like quite a heavy teenage period. So what the black elephant means, it means like something heavy weighing you down, like you have a big dark black elephant sitting on your shoulders, like
the dark clouds.
Yeah.
When you wake up and you feel like you're just full of dark clouds.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah. So you do all the writing yourself.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite secret spot or something where you like to go when you're writing, or is it more like, okay, I'm hanging out in my room and I'm just feeling like writing a song?
Yeah, mostly my songwriting happens early in the morning or late in the night, and not really a specific spot. Mostly it's like I sit at home, and I think it's because like in the morning you're a bit not 100% awake, and in the night you're a bit sleepy, so you're in this like meditative state, and then I think it's just that thing that then you don't think too much about it. You just make something, and then like after you sat there writing, you realize like, okay, this is a song. I just wrote this, you know.
And you also do the recording yourself? And I saw your tapes, like they're all hand designed and hand packaged.
Yeah.
So the DIY culture means a lot to you. Like what does it mean to you? Where does that come from?
When I had like a little plan when I started making this music. I made music for a long time by myself, and I play in a band as well that plays like metal hardcore. So I scream in that band.
What are they called?
Siberian.
Okay.
So it's some guys from my hometown where I played for a long time. But when I started doing this, I decided that I want to do this by myself and try to do as much as possible by myself. So the first thing I did was before when I decided that I want to record something, then it would be all this dragging out like a mic stand and putting up a mic, and when was like finished with taking out all my recording equipment, I was like, I've lost the feeling of the song. So I was living in this one-room apartment, and I decided like I'm gonna build a studio in my closet. So I took a bookshelf and like put some mics on there, and just made it possible for me to, whenever I had a song going, I could just go in there and press record and start recording. And that way I wouldn't lose like the feeling. I could just record it what I felt for the song. I could just go in there and start recording.
I saw a picture of you in a room. I'm not sure if it's your room, but there was this The Cure poster at the wall. Was it your room?
Yeah, it was my room.
So did you take some inspiration from them as well, like Robert Smith's writing and stuff, or yeah, did you?
Yeah, actually The Cure is one of my favorite bands. I listened to them for so long, and I used to love their sound. I'm into like post-punk, and he has also these, I think he has amazing skill of writing both sad songs, and also like he's one of the few artists which I actually enjoy the happy songs, because I think he's really there in the happy songs. A lot of times I think it's hard to write happy songs, but with his songs I can really feel like it's this extreme happiness, you know.
Yeah, this bittersweet extreme happiness. Oh, cool. Sweden is pretty much widespread. Like people are living everywhere, and there are not that many big cities. How do you manage like to get to shows? Do you go to shows a lot? And how do you feel like about the community? Is it stronger because you have to travel far to visit a show or something? Like, is that something you ever thought about?
I love going to shows, and when I go to shows, I'm always like, I should go to more shows, because I really enjoy it. I love it, but with I work full time as well, and then I try in my free time to do as much music stuff as possible, so I don't have like a lot of time to go to shows. But with the community thing in my hometown Linköping, I think it's starting to get a better scene, because we have a record company that also does shows. It's called Gaphals, which means like, in Swedish it means like screaming out loud.
That fits.
Yeah. But they make they're like the ones lifting up Linköping, making it more like something happening there.
Yeah.
But in Sweden overall, I think people are like mad going to shows. Mostly it's like Fridays and Saturdays where you can drink. People will go out and watch shows, or if it's like a bigger artist, then they will go out.
When did you start playing? And which instruments do you play? Like, is it just the guitar or?
No, I play some piano as well, and then I sing and I scream as well.
Yeah.
Like hardcore vocals. I started, I think, when I was a kid. I played the trumpet for 5 years in both an orchestra with just like horn instruments and a string orchestra as well. But that was mostly like my parents told me that, do you want to go and play an instrument? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. But then I stopped around like teenage years. It wasn't cool to play the trumpet, so I stopped doing that. But I think I learned a lot from that. And then about when I was 18, I got a guitar for my birthday from my father. So then I started sitting, at that time I was living at my mother's. So I was like, I went to school, and all the time in school I was thinking like, I just want to get home and play the guitar. So every time when I got home, I was sitting like, when I got home till very late, just playing the guitar until my fingers were like, and singing really loudly. I don't know if my neighbors really liked it, but
but you didn't care.
No, I didn't care. You know, I loved what I did, and I was like a really terrible singer as well, but I just loved doing it. So I continued to sing and play guitar, and I guess I got better.
So it was a great present by your father.
Yeah, it was
did
great.
did he also influence you like musically? Because there are a lot of parents who have a good taste in music. Is it the same with your parents? Like, did you get your early musical experience from them, like your first favorite songs and stuff?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't like my father's music, what he listened to. But I think I mostly listened to like pretty crappy music when I was a kid. But my father, he played a bit of guitar, not that much, just for fun. He played, but he was pretty good at like finger picking. But he listened to a lot of good music, which I realized like later on. He listened to, you know, all this good like 60s and 70s hippie bands. But he listened to like the Beatles and Pink Floyd, and a lot of good bands like that. So later on I realized that he had like a great music taste. So now I love a lot of music that I listen to. So I think like underlying somewhere there, I got something from it, I think, from just hearing all the music. And my mother as well, when I was living with her, she was always very supportive, you know. She listened to my songs, what I recorded, and said like, yeah, this is really good, you know.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and I'm really happy for that, because that made me, gave me like the confidence to continue doing it as well.
Do you remember the first record you got or bought yourself?
Yeah. The first record I got was for Christmas. My brother gave it to me, and it was this Swedish punk rock band called Millencolin. Which, when I got the album, I was like, all the songs on this album sounds the same. Because there was guitar in every song, and it was bass and drums. It was like the same. They had distortion, but I really loved it, and I listened to it so many times over and over and again. And the more I listened to it, I found this different. I found like the difference in the songs, so it like grew on me. But that was my first record, and I got really a lot into that punk rock band. I got a lot of their albums afterwards. And I still really love them. They have a really good vocalist. I really like love his way of singing. He has this half screaming kind of way.
What do you do besides the music? Like it's nothing you're living from or something, it's just something you're doing for yourself. So what's your time filled by?
I want to one day be able to live off of music. It's like a goal of mine. But right now I'm working at a refugee camp. I started like a couple of months back. And before that I was a caretaker. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting job as well. Like it's really nice kids there actually. From the place I work, it's like kids from 13 to 17. So it's like helping them to come into society and become a part of it and learn like the Swedish language.
So you're a really caring person.
Yeah, I guess so. I enjoy helping people.
Do these kids influence you? Like by now, did you get some new inspiration or some new topics that you feel like, oh, I need to write some songs about it?
I think.
Or is it more like separated?
It's inspired me in the way that I'm very thankful to getting to understand what they're coming from and understanding like the situation for refugees a little bit more. And also they listen to music from their countries every day, so so I get some I like Arabic music. I enjoy that very much, like the beats, like the this kind of things. Yeah, so it's mostly that way, I think.
Is the place where you're from surrounded by a lot of nature, or is it close to a bigger city? Like, are you used to go out in the woods a lot and walk around and stuff? Like, how do you feel about Swedish nature? Because everyone here is really in love with the landscapes you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like all the woods.
I think it's we're really lucky. We have a lot of beautiful nature in Sweden, and I very much enjoy going out in the woods. And yeah, I think it's some kind of a feeling of freedom going into the woods. I don't know really what brings this, but yeah, I think it's really nice. Where I live, we have some some forests nearby, but I live more like in the city core. But I think it's pretty nice, even if you live in a city, there's a lot of times pretty close to finding like nature and forests.
So, if you could tour with any person, who would it be? Like, I don't care if dead or alive or something, like if there was one person or one act, who would you choose? And why?
I would definitely choose The Cure, because they're my favorite band. I just love their music. But I also like, I'm a big fan of Radiohead as well. I love their music. And yeah, like Damien Rice would also be really cool to play before. I love his music and I love his sense of being there. I think he's really good in the way that he only needs like a guitar and his voice, and he can play a whole concert, and it's just really him being there in the songs and it's
touching people.
Yeah.
So where can we find your music?
I have a Facebook, so if you search for just Gus Ring Facebook, you will find it. And I also have a Bandcamp site, where you can listen to all of my albums. I have one full-length album called Boredom Tapes, and then I've done an EP called Will I Be Alone for the Rest of My Life, and another one called In Search of the Wonderful Life. And the Bandcamp is gusringsounds.bandcamp.com.
Okay. Also da können wir auf jeden Fall alle diese wunderschönen handbemalten Tapes bekommen. Das ist wundervoll. What are you listening listening to at the moment? Like, is there any record you would like to recommend to someone, like where you think, okay, people should listen to this, people should know this? What would it be?
Yeah, I'm a lot like, if I find a good record, I will listen to it so many times, just over and over again for a period. And I think at the moment I have 3 records that I listen to a lot. And the first one is Adrian Crowley. I think it's called Some Blue Morning, the album. I listen to that a lot. And then a new album from a group called Daughter. And the third one that I listen to a lot lately is Damien Rice's new album.
Okay.
My favorite, Faded Fantasy, I think it's called, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So do you have any final words before we sign off? Something you want to tell the people who are watching?
I know a lot of what I stand for and what I think is important is that we should all try to like care for being in the moment and being right here and be present, because I think a lot of like negative feelings and unhappiness comes from thinking too much about reaching a goal in the future, or like thinking about something in the past that's been like hard to you. So I think it's very important that we all, as humans, try to be present in the here and now, and just be able to be happy with what we got right now.
Okay.
Otherwise, I just want to say thanks a lot for letting me be a part of this.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Great.
Yeah, how long is your tour continuing from now? Like, how many shows are you going to play during this tour?
It's 18 in total, and now I've played 5. So yeah, math. It's 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 13 shows left.
Okay.
And we have some days off, like 3 days off, I think.
And I guess we can find those dates on your Facebook as well.
Yeah.
So if someone manages to get to a show of you, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Check him out.
I also want to thank Jackalope, who's booking the tour, and Paul Schmidt, the guy who's coming with me from Jackalope. Because without them, I think this wouldn't be possible.
Dann vielen Dank. Thank you a lot for coming. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ja.
Dankeschön.